And people say Star Wars fans are toxic. Y'all Wicked fans? You're on the same freaking level. Chase Lee Hockey here at the Blue Futon reviewing Wicked. So wait a minute, there's no Somewhere Over the Rainbow or We're Off to See the Wizard song in this movie at all? Wicked will receive a 0 out of 5 with Futons, which equals at 0%. So see the critics and user scores gave this one. Ha, just joking. So anyway, watched Wicked 3D 4DX. Where are the 3D glasses? And a boom, we are back with the 3D glasses. So 3D effect, not worth it. If you're looking for decent depth in your 3D, this might do it for you. But if you're looking for crazy pop-out effects, this movie doesn't do it. This is a movie that doesn't really benefit from 3D or doesn't need to be in 3D. So overall, scratch, save your money there. 4DX, though, there is constant movement, good water effects, bubble effects, smoke effects, and at the very end, the beginning where we deal with the winged monkeys in the beginning and end of the movie, and when she actually learns to fly, yes, has some good 4DX movement with the chairs. But throughout the movie, there is good movements because of the dancing and the singing and the things like that. So as a 4DX experience, I do recommend it. As a 3D experience, I do not. But the movie is based off the 1996 book or the musical Broadway play. I don't know, but, you know, they're two people. Elfie, am I saying it right? Elfie, because there's a lot of name changes, and I'm going to say East and West, right? Because we have them going to school together. We get the backstory of West, Elfie's character, and Glenda. I'm going to say these names wrong. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not in this Wicked lore as much as other people. But, you know, friend, befriending, who's Oz, who's Michelle Yeoh's character, who's the Wicked Witch, who is this Jonathan Bailey's character, and what are they all going to prescribe in the Wicked Part 1. So first off, did I like this film? There are things that I truly dug about this film where I was very intrigued where it was going to go, then other stuff where I was just like, this is insufferable. There was stuff where I was like, can we just get to the freaking point and just some character choices, some character dialogue, and me now doing a deep dive of the original book from like 1990 Wizard of Oz, the 1939 movie, the 1996 book, the Wicked musical, and now this. I'm going through some Charlie Day shit, okay, right now with this movie. All right, positives. I am a sucker for good musicals, right? And for me, a good musical is, can you sing, can you dance, can you act? To me, one of the better ones of our time is Zac Efron. He could sing, he could dance, he can act. Same with the actors in this movie. They could sing, they could dance. Dance is okay, they could act. So if you tell me Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, or Cynthia Erivo, I'm saying her name probably wrong again, I'm sorry, get Oscar nominations, I ain't going to be mad. I truly am not, just because what they had to do on screen, they did what the script wanted to do. They added character depth. They added, interesting elements to these characters. So if you tell me on Oscar morning what it is that they are nominated, I'm going to be like, bet. I'm not going to be mad. Would I be mad with the production design? No, even though I wish they, I like how Jonathan Chu decided to do as much practical effects as possible and then, green screen here and there. I do wish it fleshed it out a little bit more, or the transition worked a little bit better, but production design, not an issue. Special effects, like I said, CGI, I don't see that getting an Oscar nomination. Score, sure, it works. There is some songs that were glaringly just ear-rattling bad, in my opinion, just because it's just how it was. There were some good songs overall, but nothing that really stood out and I need to buy the soundtrack or the score right now. Like I said, anytime Jonathan Bailey was on the screen, though, I was intrigued with his character arc, because the intrigueness of that and then not getting it is really the frustrating part. Also, the most frustrating part is not telling people it's a part freaking 1, because even before, I went into the theater 15 minutes before, and some people were like, oh, did you know this is a part 1? They're like, what? This is a part 1? And then when they actually had Wicked come up and it said part 1, there was verbal, huh? And people turning to their loved ones saying, wait, this is not the whole movie. So marketing for Universal, y'all got a lot of people, and I think that's kind of messed up on that level. So let's go with there. All right. So now, all right, talking animals. Yes, that is in the OG book, not really in the movie, because once Toto actually gets, Dorothy's dog gets to Oz, that's when they can actually talk, but they didn't do it in the original, in that 1939 movie. All right, fair enough. So I kind of like that we're getting this talking animal storyline because we never got from the 1939 movie. So like I said, there are things where I'm like, okay, this is intriguing, but it doesn't really go in depth in this movie because you have Peter Dinklage as the goat, you have this leopard, you have some other animals here and there, but they're not the foreground. This more foreground is about, the two friends, Glinda and Elfie. I'm just going to say their names again. I don't care. And I think that's the issue because I don't know if the writers, which isn't Jonathan Chu, wanted to focus more on the musical or on the 1996 book, or wanted to get some information from the 1939 movie as well as the 1900 book, because it does open up with you see Dorothy on the Yellow Brick Road with the Tin Man, with the lion, with the scarecrow. So you're thinking, okay, we are in the same universe. And then the monkeys, because in the OG book, apparently the monkeys are enslaved by the witch. This isn't really shown in this, and this is where I get very frustrated, right? Sometimes you just need characters to be evil. Maybe they aren't, the whole good thing. Malignant. Okay, not Malignant, sorry. Maleficent. You have it, and it looks like the new Mufasa movie with the Lion King where, oh, little did you know, it's actually Mufasa is the orphan and it's Scar's family. I don't remember that at all in the original. So it feels like we are doing this a lot in nowadays. Thanos. Like, oh, they're trying to do something. That's why Guardian of the Galaxy villains work. Guardian of the Galaxy 2. Oh, I loved your mom. That's why I gave her cancer. Bam. Kurt Russell's like, what the actual living F? The third one, the bad guy. I'm going to do experiments on the animals. Kill him. Just some people, and you know what? When you watch the original, and maybe I haven't need to read this 1900 book, maybe she's just evil because she's evil, and she has a sister, the Wicked Witch of the East, the Wicked Witch of the West. Here we don't get the Wicked Witch of the East anymore. We only get the West because she said Western Sky. So he's like, okay, she's going to the West. So, like I said, it really bugs me when sometimes we're trying to humanize bad guys. Are we going to really try to humanize Ted Bundy? Are we going to try to humanize Manson? Are we going to try to humanize, like, the clown serial killer? Are we going to... Yeah, why are we trying to humanize some of these people? The Mendez brothers, they literally murdered their parents in cold blood, and they wanted the money. Sometimes they don't need to be humanized, and that's why I have an issue with this. They're trying to do that back and forth, and Glinda, the glaring flaws of just her character being a freaking idiot, are just the naivety and just the air flipping and her always thinking she's hot stuff, which that could be a good moral thing because it's the complete polar opposite of Elfie because of something happened in her past, which is like, okay, so she's green because her mom cheated, but that was never really... Anyway, so we're just going to ignore that kind of weird plot point where the mom is an adulteress and she's just going to sleep around. Whatever, we're just going to ignore that plot point. Okay, so then, like I said, we're going through the plot. We're going through the motion. Yeah, so like I said, Glinda, that it would be good because, she's more the shy, the reserve, and that Glinda's like the complete opposite. And having her to go to Oz to kind of open up out of her shell is a good idea. But when Glinda still is like hearing Michelle Yeoh's character saying line about her friend, at a point she's got to be like, wait a minute, maybe I'm in the wrong and the wizard and Michelle Yeoh's character are the evil ones. But it feels like she never has that epiphany. She never realizes, oh my god, maybe we are in the wrong here. Never in this film, and that really bothered me. And like I said, the flying monkeys now, and reading about the book, like that, okay, I understand about but who imprisoned who now? So I'm really confused because according to this movie, it was the wizard imprisoning and Michelle Yeoh's character imprisoning these monkeys because Michelle Yeoh goes, I don't want to hurt any of your family members, so go get the witch. So it's like, I am curious about what are we trying to do with this movie and what are we trying to connect with this Wizard of Oz universe, because it feels like it's nitpicking through all of them and changing really fundamental elements where you're like, that's kind of a huge plot point. Why are we changing it? Like, what's the actual point? Also, the song Popular, insufferable. I absolutely hated that song. I mean, it's not as bad as Scuttlebutt, but it was up there in my opinion. But like I said, and also Jonathan Bailey's character, right? It's like, he had something. There was a talking horse. He was talking to a horse, and you show that, and you're like, okay, there's something interesting about that, and he's going to rescue the cub. Interesting, but we're not going to go there for a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. Interesting, her sister, while she's in a wheelchair, it's very fascinating why she's in a chair. Just, we're dropping it. We're completely dropping it. And at a point, you got to be like, the governor's got to realize his wife cheated. There's got to be, like, something there. And also, every time Jonathan Bailey on screen, does every guy just turn gay? Like, at a point, it's like, that's also the feminist, like, femininity of this movie. It's like, there's not a lot of masculine men in this movie. Jonathan Bailey's probably the most masculine, but every time he walks in a room, I swear to God, the guys just, like, drop their drawers and be like, it's like, yo, like, calm down. Like, not everyone has to be attracted to this dude, and everyone turns gay. And like I said, a lot of femininity with the men, too. It's like, understand it, but then I don't at the same time. But overall, actually, I don't understand it. Why there is no masculine, like, guess there's no masculine men in this school, apparently, except Jonathan Bailey with a little bit of masculinity. Anyway, overall, Wicked. After me doing a deep dive of all these books and what this is trying to do, I don't know if I like this movie as a whole. Yes, as a package, it looks good. The visual effects are fine. The technical craft, the costumes, the production design, I can't be mad. I can't be mad at the actors. I can't be mad at Jonathan Chu. What I'm just mad at is some of the songs, some of the choices, and just, like, when watching the original Wizard of Oz, I mean, you never get the befuffle of just Greta or Glinda being this buffoon, this just narcissistic person. You don't get it. Like I said, they could have gone something decent with their character choice and just how they're complete A, polar B opposite. And, you know, having the hat scene. There are, in the scene with Jonathan Bailey and, you know, Cynthia Erivo in the saving the cub, there are scenes where you're like, I'm intrigued. Suck me into that part of the story. But we never got that part of the story in part 1, which is a huge marketing ploy by Universal. Congratulations. You fooled a lot of people. I hope you're happy. So Wicked 3D 4DX will receive a 2.5 out of 5 with Futons. It goes at 50%. I'm going to be the minority. I understand that. And I already have Wicked fans already, like, going crazy on people's letterboxes. Simmer down. It's a movie. Don't be mad at someone's opinion. Because to me, when I'm looking at the lore of all 5 things that come... Okay, it's 4 things technically. Well, you could also get the James Franco Oz movie as another one-isk. You could maybe. So maybe 5 things. The Sam Raimi movie also, but I mean, it's the same thing. But yeah, let's see what the Critics' News scores gave this one. I know for a fact I'm in the minority. Critics, 92% of the 156 of them. Audience score, a 99%. Defying Gravity with his magical pairing of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Wicked, sheer bravura, and the charm make for irresistible innovation to Oz. Yes and no. Like I said, there are parts of this movie where I'm like, give me more talking animals. Give me more Jonathan Bailey. Give me more of this sister dynamic. Give me more of this. But then when I'm reading into everything that's occurring or should have occurred, I'm like... And also, I'm just mad at this whole thing of, like, maybe villains are just villains. It's okay. It's okay Sleeping Beauty is that. It's okay that 101 Dalmatians Cruella de Vil shouldn't have a sappy backstory. She skins dogs. Some people are evil. Just like Prisoner, Paul Dano's character. Some people are just freaking evil. 92, 99, 50. Chase Scott here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Well, no thanks, Futontopia. You Blue Tonyans, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Watch Stay tomorrow, week from month, or year from. I was doing a freaking one of you. This might be my longest review freaking ever.